Connor's return.
The Kingdom of Kerry is recognised worldwide for the beauty of its landscape. Its terrain influencing a people's mindset and culture. Nationally, the footballers of this great county have an awesome reputation, built on 34 All-Ireland titles. They are the benchmark, they are the barometer, especially since the 1970s and 80s.
Galvin has it. Galvin has a go. The whistle goes, and Tyrone are the All-Ireland football champions for 2008.
Losing last year's All-Ireland final to Tyrone hurt deeply. Kerry manager Pat O'Shea said slán, while Jack O'Connor said diaguit arish. In South Kerry, they love their football. Amazingly, two clubs, Skellig Rangers based around Portmagee and St Michael's Foylemore, were playing in the All-Ireland Junior and Intermediate Club finals in Croke Park last night. Here, neighbours played with different teams, creating great rivalry, but United has won this weekend, all for the glory of the Kingdom.
Hello there, and you're very welcome to Radio Kerry's Terrace Talk.
In Tralee, the talk on local radio is not just about the clubs, but Jack O'Connor's return and his strategy for the year ahead. His first major assignment is in Omagh today, and a repeat of last year's All-Ireland final.
The league for Jack O'Connor and Joe Keefe and Eamon Fitzmaurice, it'll be bloody new players, picking up a few points along the way. If they get to the final and win it at the end of the day, very well and good. But I'll tell you, Marty, if you went out the door there now, or if I went out and I asked somebody who won the league in 1975, or how did Kerry do in the league, no one have a clue. But if you asked them who won the All-Ireland in 1975, or if you asked them how many league titles have Kerry won, nobody could tell you. The league is there to play in, the championship is there to win.
And Kerry are good at winning championships. Who will ever forget the 4 in a row winning team? They were a special group. So when they welcomed Jack O'Connor's return, then his management is fully endorsed.
Well, I think the public wanted Jack to come back. Like, they were very successful. Jack was, and Ger Keefe and Johnny Cullity. Even Johnny's not there now. Like, you know, a lot of people went to the match now against Donegal, and they didn't think Donegal were up to much. Like, you know, Kerry found it very easy to win the match. So this will be a test of the young team, and a test of David Moore in midfield, test of young Welsh, and a few more young fellas that they have on the team. And I think Kerry likes that. And look, it's the best way to blood anybody is put him into against the big fellas, like, you know.
I don't think they could have got anyone better. His record speaks for itself. He's took him to 3 All-Ireland finals, winning 2. There's nothing better that would suit Kerry this year than to meet and beat Tyrone. Have no doubt about that, because of losing to them on 3 occasions. But we don't take anything for granted. Like, you know, we've no divine right to be in an All-Ireland final, and that is why we've enjoyed the good run that we're on. And you're not going to win every All-Ireland that you play in, and we've been there or thereabouts, and the players have given us great enjoyment over the last 8 or 10 years.
It is anticipated that Ty Kennelly will return to the Kerry panel in a few weeks' time. Already on board as a selector is 5 times All-Ireland medalist Ger Keefe, who believes strong leadership is vital for any inter-county team.
There can only be one boss, and you know, even though there might be a number of selectors and there might be trainers, there can only be one boss, and the boss must be strong, must have a strong personality, and must be able to gel with the players. He must respect them, but he must also have plenty of time to deal with their ills at various times during the course of the year. I mean, so he effectively has to be all things to all people, which is a tough job.
From a Kerry public perspective, the right man undoubtedly for the job is Jack O'Connor. One of his first objectives is to give a fresh impetus to the team.
New blood will bring new enthusiasm back to the squad and back to the team, and that's our aim. That's our short-term goal for the National League. It's basically to find those players, and I think they're out there. We had a good county championship this year in Kerry. I was involved now with Canterbury's myself to the death, but unfortunately we didn't get over the line. But there's a lot of good club players out there, and certainly we'll be having a look at them during the league, and you know, just hope to get the right mix then for the championship.
It may only be February, but there is a quiet belief that with Jack in charge, the clouds of last September's disappointment will soon clear, and the sun may shine with All-Ireland glory again for the Kingdom. The All-Ireland champions introduce a new goalkeeper, so it's quite a big day for Johnny Curran, who replaces John Devine. Aidan Cassidy, who made an impressive debut against Dublin, is retained at centre field with Enda McGinley. Unfortunately, Stephen O'Neill has picked up a knee injury, so Colm Kavanagh joins big brother Sean in the full forward line. This is the Kerry selection, and it shows 3 changes to the team that toppled Donegal in Tralee. First choice goalkeeper Dermot Murphy returns to a defensive setup that sees Aidan O'Mahony at fullback, Mark O'Shea at 6, with Austin Stack's Daniel Bohan beside him at left half back. Kept in just about by Declan O'Sullivan. Getting it down for us, the new captain, Darren O'Sullivan. In towards Tommy Walsh. Here's Darren O'Sullivan. Chasing with him is Micheál McGee. Darren O'Sullivan hits it well, and conviction written all over it. Knew exactly what he was doing. Good work by Seamus Scanlon. Paul Galvin. Darren O'Sullivan. In low towards Tommy Walsh. Backfires David Moore. Dropping this in towards Colm Cooper. There's a chance. Beautiful! And somehow the Tyrone full back line that were almost impenetrable in the All-Ireland final are being exposed here. It was Walsh. Backfires Moore. And here comes the long ball in towards the Gooch. Ah, beautifully tucked away. Kick out goes straight to Paul Galvin. Looking around at options, Philip Jordan blocks his way. David Moran lends assistance from midfield. Dropping this in again towards Walsh. Here's Walsh at the end of it. Gooch, second goal. 2 goals and 2 points for Colm the Gooch Cooper, and we haven't even got 13 minutes play. The famous Tyrone full back line that was unbeatable last September is being exposed by the new dynamic duo of Walsh and Gooch. Was Gooch inside the square, the ball hopped, in he comes into the square now. It's perfectly legitimate, good score. It's floated down the middle towards Enda McGinley, gathered here by McCullough. Has a pop from 30 metres out, and that's over the bar. Justin McMahon, Kerryman on the deck, gathers his thoughts as Tyrone continue to attack. Here's McGuigan. That looks good. Darren O'Sullivan gets by that initial challenge. Colm Kavanagh has gone back to defend as well. Gets by, great speed, lays it off inside. There's a chance here for Tommy Walsh. Oh, good save by Curran. It was 1 against 1, and the new goalkeeper is adding to his CV. Well gathered by Aidan Cassidy, who's moved into the half-forward line. Here's McCullough, twisting and turning. Owen Mulligan calling for it, still McCullough. At this stage, half of Kerry are back at that side of the field. He still gives it to Mulligan, and that's still a good score. Declan O'Sullivan easily fools Justin McMahon. Still O'Sullivan gets it out for us, Paul Galvin. Tommy Walsh wants it in high, and he's going to gather it. He has gathered it. Going to shoot, and a save again by Jonathan Curran. Twice denied by the keeper. Here's Philip Jordan. Aidan Cassidy. Enda McGinley. Justin McMahon trying again for a point and scoring. That's a quality point by an excellent footballer. To O'Shea, to Daniel Bohan. In space, this is Maurice Corrida. Darren O'Sullivan makes the diagonal run and gets there. Great run, good score. Darren O'Sullivan gets his second point of the match. more of the entanglement between the Gooch and McMenamin continues. Referee Jimmy White in there, breaking it all up as Tyrone go into counter-attack mode. Philip Jordan. That's a good score by the left half-back. The half-back is defending well and he's scoring a point a match. He's still so valuable, really. Referee Jimmy White blows the full-time whistle. A little bit of verbals again between Mark O'Shea and Ryan McMenamin at the full-time whistle. Jack O'Connor was in to make sure that things didn't hot up too badly. And Jack O'Connor is also involved, and referee Jimmy White is getting involved and making sure that things are controlled. But there is more to follow, I'm afraid. Unsavoury end in a game that 99.9% was played in a very sporting fashion. This is such a pity. And once again, Omagh is the place where things just seem just a little bit out of control. Kerry laid the foundation for this victory with a fine opening quarter in a game that was dominated by Colm the Gooch Cooper, particularly in the opening 15 minutes. Ultimately, it was Kerry that were victorious with 3 points to spare. Kerry 210, Tyrone 13 points. At the final whistle there, it was rather unsavoury. What were your view of it, or what were your thoughts on it?
There were just players milling around, you know. There was a little bit of an altercation going on. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. It was just a lot of pushy and shovey and a bit of milling around, you know. After we wouldn't get too worried about that.
I thought it was a sporting game, you know. I mean, when the game is getting tight there in the end, it's always going to be tough and physical. But I thought it was a very sporting game. I thought the ref did a good job. He kept the game flowing. So you know, we're not going to say we're not happy beating Tyrone. Obviously, you'll be always delighted to beat Tyrone. But as I say, we're not getting carried away. It's 2 points, so we're top of the table, and that's the most important thing.
Well, indeed, it mightn't make up for that All-Ireland final defeat last September, but Kerry will nonetheless be well satisfied with that performance this afternoon. Tommy Lyons, they've played two Northern opponents now, Donegal the first day, taking the points from both of them, so Kerry going nicely. Yeah, Kerry going nicely, Michael. It was actually quite a nice game of football, even though it was the classic two halves. Kerry won the first one 2-8 to 3 points, and Tyrone won the second one 10 points to 2. And Tyrone were at all at sea in the first half, and were struggling to cope with Kerry completely. And you know, Sean Kavanagh was the only player that delivered up to scratch for them, and Cooper on his own, Michael, he was just devastating in the first half. And you know, we have some instances there, Michael, where you know, we're showing how Kerry opened up Tyrone. And well, they were playing in a high ball there, like Gooch, no better man to be under it. But I suppose it also exposed the Kerry or the Tyrone defence. It did, Michael. But we all know Mickey Hart is the cutest man in Ireland, and tactically he has got every big game right in Croke Park when it mattered. Today he left his defenders isolated, and Kerry made hay. I know well, and the whole country knows well, if this was a championship game of football, there's no way Kerry would be left one-on-one inside without having a cover man or having two big men back there. You know, and you know, Kerry were knocking holes in the whole Tyrone defence with this diagonal ball. Different to the All-Ireland final last year, where I thought the Kerry ball going in was too straight and too slow. This time it was coming in from the wings at all time. And Paul Galvin is a very good deliverer of a ball. And Tommy Walsh, you know, could have had 2 or 3 goals today on one-on-ones. And the Tyrone goalie, Jonathan Curran, stood up well there. And I just think that
Galway's management team, led by Liam Salmon, make 4 changes from the team that beat Westmeath in Mullingar 2 weeks ago. Adrian Faherty gets a chance to impress in goal. Declan Meehan is recalled at left corner back, while Sean Armstrong comes in for the suspended Barry Cullinan, and Mark Lydon replaced the injured Nicky Joyce. Dublin's first away game under new manager Pat Gilroy features 14 of the team that started against Tyrone in Croke Park. Paul Flynn of Fingollians is selected as replacement for Ross McConnell in midfield, with all-star Shane Ryan once again held in reserve. There's a slight reshuffle at half forward. Tiernan Diamond is now on the 40, and today David Henry is on the right. Declan Meehan here, very experienced player, trying to get himself out of difficulty with some difficulty. Gives it away, however, and an opportunity for Dublin, and Conal Keeney eventually kicked by Kieran Whelan and put over the bar. Well, that should have been cleared. Instead, it's a white flag for Dublin, and they take the lead. Conal Keaney setting it up here for Whelan, but the mistake was by Declan Meehan. Taking a return there from Alan Hubbard. Again, it's Cahill really cutting his way through here. Still there's a gap. This is amazing. It's gone for a 45. Might well have been a goal. It's a great run by Barry Cahill. Nobody coming in to pin a tackle on him. They were chasing after him. Sean Armstrong was in vain pursuit. Everybody else leaving it to others. Goalkeeper made a good stop. Here's Mark Lydon. Inside towards Malahi. Back once again here towards Cormac Ban. Kicking from outside the 45-metre line. Kicking it well. That's a beauty. Nicely done by Cormac Ban. Well outside the 45-metre line. And Galway go in front. Bernard Brogan has a free player. It's Kieran Whelan. It's all Dublin. And that is a lovely point. Knew exactly what they had to do and did it. This is Dublin at their very best. Bernard Brogan, calm, considered, but lethal at the finish. Porrick Joyce trying to complete the link here with Paul Conroy. It's a lovely move. Can they finish it here? He goes down, he's won a penalty. And it was Alan Hubbard who made the contact. There wasn't an awful lot involved in that. And the penalty will be taken by Michael Meehan. Stephen Cluxton is poised. Michael Meehan strikes, Michael Meehan scores! 90 minutes are gone. Galway 1-2, Dublin 3 points. That was emphatic. Again, Galway hold it. It's Michael Meehan striking, he's confident. That's a goal and 2 points now for Michael Meehan, the 24-year-old from Caltra. There was a slip as that ball was kicked down by Diarmuid Blake, but it might work out. Michael Meehan feeding it there for Sean Armstrong. Here's a goal chance. It's a second goal for Galway in the first half. Sean Armstrong. 31 minutes gone. And it came from a long, long free down the other end of the park. And that time the Dublin defence found wanting, ball watching, leaving Armstrong completely unmarked. Dublin in complete disarray. Porrick Joyce looking for a third. Paul Conroy this time. It's a third goal, this one coming in the 35th minute. What a first half of goals for Galway. That defence of Dublin's been ripped apart again, needlessly. Picking it up here is Bradshaw. Nicely across to Sean Armstrong. A goal and a point in the first half. Make that now a goal and 2 in all. A player who has not quite delivered on the excellence that he showed at under 21 level at senior so far. Whelan. Again, Galway picking up the breaks here. Armstrong cleverly ahead here. Nicely held onto by Joe Bergen. Has the awareness to spot support players if he can use them. Finally does. Ban goes for the score himself. That's 2 in a row. Any thoughts of a Dublin comeback? Might well be knocked on the head immediately. Start of the second half. It's 2 Galway attacks, 2 Galway points. Here's Kevin Bonner. A time in the game when Dublin needs something special. Can Barry Cahill provide it? Not quite here. Good defending by Galway. They stand firm, and Niall Coyne, here's the cheers of the crowd ringing in his ears. Well, that was a close call again for Galway. Dublin looking for a break, but not getting any so far. Conal Keaney out around the half-forward line at this stage. They haven't got any score at all from the half-forward line. Here's Kieran Whelan, he got 2 points in the first half. Still motoring, it's a great run. Deserved a goal. He'll have to be content with a point. A third for Whelan, first of the second half. Well, Joe Bergen was after him, couldn't catch him. Whelan gathered momentum, let fly, hit it with power, but no with accuracy. Joe Bergen going for it, but it's fallen into the arms of Kieran Whelan. Back out to David Henry. Henry The man we have long associated with a place in the Dublin backline shows he can score as well. And he becomes the first member of the Dublin half-forward line to score this afternoon. 3-9 to 12 points. It's getting tighter. Back towards Darren Mullahy. Fisted forward again towards Dunleavy. Second half substitute. Release back out once again. Pushing forward here, Paul Conroy. Well, that will be a beauty if it goes over the bar, and it is a beauty, and it has gone over the bar. Paul Conroy to add to the goal he got after 35 minutes of this match, and that might ease a nerve or two. Galway by 8 points. It's going to be quite a victory for them. Mark Lydon now waiting for the whistle, and there it is. A somewhat tame second half. The fans here won't worry about that because Pádraig Joyce and his team did all of the damage in the first half, and it finishes here with Galway the victors by 3 goals and 12 points to Dublin's 13 points.
I thought that for the first 10 minutes that they were very dangerous, and they could have got in for a few major scores at that time. But in fairness to our goalkeeper, he made a few great saves. I thought that also that when we did open them up that we were very dangerous, you know, and the slickness of our forwards was excellent.
Wasn't it just the home side proving the better